Paltrocast.
Good morning. I assume it's good morning because you're in the middle of the headlining tour on the East Coast, right?
Yes, sir. We got the day off though, so I'm resting up.
First headlining tour, so congratulations. It's going great as I expect it is.
Yeah, man, it's going awesome. It's going awesome. It's been a treat because, like I said, like uh, the first bit of it was like I don't know how because it's my first one. I don't know how it was gonna go, but like so far the shows have been awesome. It's been really fun.
Yeah, the reality is when it's a headlining tour, they're coming to see you. Uh,
Yeah,
did you have some hesitation to booking a headlining tour?
I mean, there wasn't much hesitation. It was definitely like a necessary next step in like a business sense, but also like I've been dreaming of doing a headlining tour since I was a kid. So I was like, let's go. I'm ready.
Right.
You know?
And now you're playing longer than 45 minutes. So what
Yes.
does the set look like these days, knowing that, hey, you have to deliver at least an hour?
Yeah. So we've been doing it. It's been either an hour 15 or an hour and a half. And, um, before I started touring full time, I would play a lot of local gigs and I could fill up to like 3 hours at one point. I mean, doing
Right.
covers and stuff too, but um, the energy is different than playing at a bar gig. So like screaming out of my face for an hour and a half is definitely something I'm getting more used to. But that was the biggest learning curve, trying to keep the stamina for that long.
I see that you kicked the tour off in Atlanta. What was the decision behind that? Were you picking up the van or the bus or anything like that in Atlanta?
So it was a good starting point for the tour. More so like just booking the spots in general and heading. So I'm from the north and we're heading back up north. And
Right.
I do have a lot of people all over the place. My bass player lives in Charleston. Um, my tour managers in Florida, our sound guys in California. So it was a good meeting spot in Atlanta to just kick things off. And we had some buddies we were able to rehearse with the day before the first show. And it was just a good hub to get everyone in the same spot.
The way that I read the routing, it sounds like everybody goes home for Thanksgiving. They go home for a couple days and then it starts again.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The logistics have been crazy, but we've been doing it.
Got it. So is there a similar support band on all the gigs, the same support band, or is it just different venue to venue?
Yeah, so we're bringing out my buddy Joey Harcum. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland. He used to be in a band called Pasadena that I listened to, and Joey's phenomenal, huge, amazing energy. He's got his other bass player, Joe, who's also named Joe, on the
Hmm.
tour too, and they've just been killing it. He's off for a couple days, but then he joins back us up with us in Pembroke, Mass, for the sound check show.
When
So
you
I'm
have multiple
stoked.
Joes on tour like that, how does that work? Do you take numbers or does it go by last name?
It's weird ordering sandwiches all in the same place.
So do they just go Samba for you?
Yeah, Joe Samba, and then I just called Joey just Harcum. Hey, Harcum, you know.
The last name approach. And so what's
Yes.
going on the recording end at the moment? Because I know you're supporting new music, but sometimes artists go, I don't want to just sit around a dressing room. I'm going to make music on my laptop on tour.
Yeah, so I don't have that luxury this time around, but on my off time when I'm home, I'm doing most of my writing. And like if I think of something while I'm like out and about, I have the voice memo on my phone and I can just like sing the melody into my phone, and then when I'm home, try to work something out on my computer at home.
Hmm. With you and your musical evolution, I found that it's changed over time in a great way to what I like to listen to personally. I
Hmm.
hear a lot of Sublime, Pepper, a lot of ska reggae, but where did you start off with musically? Were you originally a rock guy that got into punk and ska?
Oh yeah. So well, I come from a very musical family, and growing up, I was into like anything under the sun. I was a huge Hanson fan when I was a kid, but then my brothers they listened to like Metallica and Pantera and System of a Down. So I really got into the metal world, and
Mhm.
I was in a metal band called Spies Like Us. That was my first band.
Oh,
Um, we did some light touring. I was really young, so there was a lot of just learning, a lot of learning curves from the touring world. And I still listen to metal. One of my favorite bands in the world is Between the Buried and Me.
mhm.
And it wasn't until I started working at a record store in my town in Salem, New Hampshire, um, and I just started getting into everything. I liked like a couple songs from Sublime, like the typical like Santeria and What I Got, I heard, but then I got their record, and I just like dove deep, and I got obsessed with Sublime specifically, and that's what kind of lit the fire in that department.
You mentioned New Hampshire, which your bio does mention you being from. Growing up on Long Island, everybody's from Long Island. From New Hampshire, all I really have is Adam Sandler, Sarah Silverman, you. Are there a lot of people from New Hampshire that are notable that we don't really realize?
I heard that dude Seth Meyers is
Oh,
from New Hampshire. There was you know, I guess less I grew up like right on the border in Massachusetts. So like Sully Erna from Godsmack is from the area. You'd see him farting around town. And I think Triple H, the wrestler, has a house up by the lake in Lakewood and Bisaki area. I don't know if he's from there, but
I think
there's some
he's a
random sites.
Connecticut guy, but I remember reading that John Fogerty did a corporate gig for Triple H's birthday party. So John Fogerty might have played in your town or around there.
No way. That's sick.
So hey, back to you here. You got this tour. Some people, when they're on tour, they really can't think about anything else, and then other people go, "Oh, dude, I know the next 2 years of my career." In
Yeah.
your case, do you know what 2024 already looks like?
I definitely see a lot more touring. A lot more music is going to be released. I just started the process of my new record. And I'm going to be traveling a whole lot. I do have a new family. I have a 2-year-old son at home, and I plan on getting married in 2024 to my fiance Olivia. So from the home front to my career, it's 2024 is going to get crazy, and I'm looking forward to it.
But at least you have the Thanksgiving off between
We
this
got Thanksgiving off. We got Christmas off.
and then in your case, a lot of people in the genre that I guess we can call, well, what genre do we call you, by the way? Do we just say reggae? Because you do chart on the reggae charts, but
Yeah.
I don't say Buju Banton and Joe Samba same thing. I mean, it's very different.
Yeah, it's actually a thing that I question even myself. Like, what genre am I? Because I obviously have the influence of reggae, but there's a lot of other influences as well. And I just simply call it like some people call it American reggae, or reggae rock. I tend to call it reggae rock, but the newer music that I'll be putting out next year, um, definitely is less reggae, you could say. It's definitely got its influences, but I don't know. I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's just tunes.
If you get bored in the van, I guess everyone can just say, "What are we?" and you can figure that out for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But where I was going with that is a lot of people in the reggae rock genre collaborate all the time. So even if they only put out an album every 2 years, you'll see they're on that person's album and that person's single, etc. Like the
Yeah.
slightly stupid guys can't stop recording with other people. In your case, might we be seeing you collaborating with other people?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge plan. We have some stuff in the works. I would love to have a dude like Kyle from Slightly Stupid on one of my new tunes. That's something, once more of the songs are kind of in a better spot as far as like where they are as far as finished or whatever. Um, there are some names floating around that I'll be collaborating with or trying to manifest some collaborations with. And that's kind of, having a name like a Slightly Stupid or insert whoever, I got to do a collab with Elliot Martin from I'm sorry, John Brown's Body,
Mhm.
one of my favorite reggae bands of all time. And that was like the first real awesome collab that I got to do. And I've done a song with Jackson from the Elevators. We just put out a new music video for that, and I'm hoping to do a lot more collabs. It makes it more fun having another brain involved.
Got it. Well, two quick questions for you, one stupider than the other. And the first one is, when you talk about Christmas music or holiday music, it usually comes out for 2 months of the year, and there's that. But in your case, you play happy music 12 months a year. How do you manage to stay jovial and happy when, hey, the world is not always the happiest place on earth, and you know that the people are coming to you for the happy stuff?
Yeah, so I feel like it's all energy based because I also, as much happy music I have, like beef and dancing and not really caring what people think, that kind of
Yeah.
energy. I do have a few songs that like explore I like a lot of more sad thoughts, but it's about like kind of taking those things and being relatable to people and writing things in a way, not purposely, but um, things that people can relate to and understand on like a cellular level. So even when it's like not necessarily the happiest song, people can still smile and relate to it and be like, wow, like I know what he's talking about. So I mean, I wouldn't say that's what I try to do. I kind of just whatever comes out naturally is just how I've always kind of done it. But if it's resonating, whether it's happy or sad or you know emotional in any way, I feel like I'm kind of doing my job. You know.
There was a hard rock band that I really liked, and the album was called Dress to Depress. It's kind of like you have to do the exact opposite, where they go, okay, we have to have a good time because Joe's here. So I guess
Yeah,
to you for being a good times artist, you know?
I love that.
Well, the last thing is, what's the last concert that you went to as a fan where you went, hey, I'm not working, I'm not going to pop up on stage, this isn't a political thing, I got to be here because I'm a fan?
Yeah, so recently I was home for a couple months and my fiance's brother Evan got us tickets to this venue. It's actually one of my favorite local venues in New Hampshire called the Stone Church. And
Mhm.
it's a smaller club, it's like a 200 cap room, but P Lander Z was going through. Uh and it was the most entertaining show I've seen in in a long time. And it was a riot. I got to, be a part of the crowd. They threw like dog bowls into the crowd and you could smack the dog bowls when they sing Mad Tiger, and it was a riot. It was so much fun. That's the last like really memorable show as like just watching that it comes to mind.
Elander Z, wow. Still,
Yeah.
I have not seen them live in 20 years, and it's good to know that they're still awesome. But Joe, thank you for putting out great music into the world. Looking forward to your next New York show. I have to miss the SOB one, but we'll get the next one. In the meantime, just keep up all the
Absolutely.
greatness out there.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate the time, brother.
Paltrocast.